Welcome back, everybody. I'm here again on the Unorthoblocks server. I got my little puppy here. Let's do this. A little bit of lapis, a little bit of blue dye. There, much better. I like that color, much better. Well, today we're going to keep working on my industrial area over here. Oh, horse. Let's check on our lava farm. So we got the lava going and it looks like it's working really good, collecting lots of lava for us. So just need to get a bunch of buckets and scoop it all up. That gets me quite a bit of fuel for any furnaces I have. But that does bring up the point, I do need to have some furnaces. I need to make some more buckets too. So I'm going to put a smelter next to the lava farm right here. So I figure might as well have the smelter next to the fuel, and then we can somehow like connect them together so it's all one big operation. I guess we just have to start now. Let me get, I think I've got everything I need in that chest. So now that I've got everything gathered, we can start laying out the foundation. I have marked off some of the corners here with torches, so I know exactly where it's going to go. I have a good idea what this is going to look like. So hopefully you will enjoy this once I get it done. So we're just going to start first by laying out the brick foundation here. So now we got the foundation in. This is where the smelter is going to go. So it's going to be laid out here with, we're going to have hoppers to collect the items. We'll have an item elevator, brings the stuff that's smelted up to the top. And then the furnaces are going to be in the rows on either side here. And then we'll have the fuel feeding them. It'll come down underneath here. And then once all we've got a rail system that's going to run on top of here. So they'll be underneath the furnaces. So it will collect all of the items. So we can just use rail for these along each side. And through here. And then it's going to go right into that middle part. Oops. Let me get up, 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 up. There we go. So once the rail goes through here and collects, so we just have to put a little bit of rail. We'll put powered rail at either end. So we'll have a minecart that runs underneath here, basically sucking up all the smelted items from these hoppers. And then we'll have the same thing over on this side. Oh, okay. I'm off by one. Yeah, I've got two on this side, and then hoppers, and two on that side. I just put the rail base in the wrong spot down here. So this underwall must be out. This wall underneath must be out one extra. But no problem. We just move this over, put the rail here. So then the minecart will just bounce back and forth along from wall to wall along the rail. So we'll just put a powered one there, have that there, and we should be good. So now I got these hoppers sitting over the rail, I can put my furnaces in. So I've got this rail finished up, so the hopper, the minecart is just going to bounce back and forth continually with these powered rails. I can probably set a switch in there someplace to turn it off at one point. But then the actual furnaces, which are going to smelt my stuff, are just going to sit on top of these hoppers. And I think this should be enough hoppers, or enough furnaces for me. It should work pretty quick once everything's all loaded and properly filled. And then we will have a this hole over here is where the items to be smelted will drop down. So we'll have this minecart has to come through here and unload. So it's going to come down here, and then we have this minecart loader unloader right here. So it's just got a little bit of redstone to put in. And where's that? There's hopper. So we're going to have hoppers here, which are going to feed into a dispenser system. And then this is going to be a detector, so it can detect the minecart once it's up above the hopper, fill it up, and then go down into that hole, get kicked out there, which will shoot up there because there'll be a water column, a bubble column, which will shoot the water up into a chest, so I don't have to come down here to collect anything because I'm lazy. I don't want to go up and down the stairs. So here we have our system set up. So the little redstone mechanism, so once this dispenser gets full of stuff, it will trigger it and kick it out over on top of that soul sand, which is actually going to have a water column in there, and bubble it up to the surface. So, and then over here I've added in the rail, so this is a little detector system, which when the full minecart comes across here, lands on that, it will, there we go, let's show this here. So the minecart will go here, put some stuff in it, just to show you that if it goes up, it'll come around here. Oh, come on. Oh, there we go. Okay. Whew. I may have to put another piece of redstone or powered rail to get a little faster. But then it comes over here and empties out into the hoppers, and then that triggers because it's got items. And then those items will get kicked out here, which is actually going to have a bubble column which will go up. Very simple, straightforward. So this is something you've probably seen hundreds of times. I just need to go through here and kind of fill in all the pieces. Like that. There we go. So on the back of all these furnaces, this is where the fuel goes, I believe. Or these items, I think these items that get smelted go back here. And we'll have another set on top, which will feed into, they feed into the two slots. I think this is the bottom slot, and then the top would be the top slot. So this is the fuel. And then we'll have another row on top, which will be the items which get smelted. Light this up. I don't want to get blown up. Maybe I should just go get some sleep, I think. Now, so I've got all these furnaces in, and hoppers feeding into them. So what I need to do is put a rail on top. So we'll put a little board there. Use up some redstone, and then we just have these powered rails, and it's just going to go on top of all these hoppers. And then we'll have a minecart on top there, which is going to take the lava from the lava farm and feed it into these into the hoppers for fuel. Let's see if I put, there we go. Little charge up in the corner. Oh dang it, I forgot. Yeah. That's the one bad thing about powered rails is they don't curve. So I'm going to have to put a normal rail here and maybe just a lever or torch here. That should be good. That's not going to power the hoppers. That's what I'm mainly worried about is powering the hoppers and locking them. So let's fill this in. I'll just put another booster here. There we go. Torch. There we go. Just making sure I don't lock anything. I'm going to have to do the same thing here. So rail, and then we'll just corner it up. There we go. I don't know how I can make just putting in a rail so complicated. Okay, let's see if this works. Perfect. So that's going to work fine. So all I need to do is fill that in with the lava farm. Okay, so let's try this with a little bit of fuel. Oh. Give me those. There we go. So let's just put some coal in. And make sure it spreads it out pretty evenly over everything. Yeah, it's going to work. So I added in a little switch so we can lock this hopper or this minecart so it's not traveling constantly. Because it can, it doesn't need to be running when there's no fuel to dump in there. So I guess the next thing we need to do is put in the hoppers, which will feed in the items to be smelted. So these are all going to be the smelted items. So the bricks, or stone, or whatever. So anything we want to cook is going to go in here. Oops. And then we'll do the same thing with the, we did before, with putting the rail on top of it and the feeder stations. Then all I need to do now is just put the walls on and get this all sealed up. Okay, there we go. Got the exterior on, and I got it matching the lava farm over there, so they look like they belong to each other. And then here, got all the furnaces and, fall down the hole. We'll come down here and take a look at this later. So, like I said, in here, we have all the rails. We're going to go on top of these hoppers. And this is going to be just like we did before. So this will dump, like I said, this is going to dump the items in to be smelted. And then this hole here is going to be where the items come up. So there'll be an item elevator here. So once items are smelted, they'll go down there and drop in that drop-off station, and then they'll be sent up into this water column where I can stay up here and collect them. Yeah, so if I've got the water column right there, bubbler coming out from the soul sand down there. So I've got my water and some kelp. I love the way that kelp lets you build water blocks. I don't know if they intended that when they built it, or it's just sort of a nice side effect that they just never got rid of. Then there we go. So this here is going to be the feeder. It goes down, so it's going to drop off. We'll have another item elevator that pops up and gets dumps the items to be smelted in these chests. So here is the item elevator redstone, and this is for the items that are going to be smelted. So I just need to cover this up and get everything all kind of hooked together. So I've jumped ahead a bit and went ahead and finished up kind of putting in the infrastructure here. So this chest is where the items to be smelted is going to be. Let me get a sign. Okay, now I can label this. So this is items. Let's see, deposit. Ooh, hold it. Let me put this in proper capital. This is deposit items to be smelted. There we go. So anything you want to smelt will go here. So you put it in the chest. It's going to go down into that mechanism I showed you before. So let's get up here. You can see it's going to pop up to this water column here, which is right here. So I've got some soul sand down at the bottom there, and I just need a water bucket. So put the water here. And then we can do the same thing we just did. So we make a nice water column here. There we go. And it's going to go over and feed into the hopper, which is going to put the items into the chest. And then here, once they're smelted, they're going to be picked up and put into this feed, which is going to go down into these chests. So we drop things off here, and then they go around. If we go down, drop them off there. They go into this system, and then this here is this will feed them up so they can be smelted. And then once they're smelted, they come down in this system. So that's the mechanism for dropping off the items. And then this rail here is going to put them into, let's back up here. So let's put that there. So let's go back up. You can see that it works. So it goes here, and it all comes up through there. And then it will go over into this chest, which I can't get into. Let's open this up. So it'll go into this chest here, and then the minecart is going to run underneath the chest and deposit the items. Oh, dang it. It'll run underneath the chest and deposit the items to be smelted. I probably need to put in stairs or something here. So if we go over here, this is the lava farm, and it's producing pretty good amount of lava. So that's what I wanted. But I'm putting all the lava will go into that barrel right there, and then we're going to have another system of rails which goes over here and picks it up, and then it's got to go between the two buildings. So it's got to go over here to drop them off and join in with the fuel line. So it's got to go from there over to here, and then it's going to go up into those hoppers up there. So it's into the back row, the feeder row back there. So now I just need to kind of get a system where it comes up one side and goes down the other. So it fills in all fills in all those furnaces with the lava. So I've got all this dug out now and got the rail in. So I've had to do a little switcheroo around here to get the rail to go where I need it to properly. So we have the rail comes up here and goes around. And it's pretty straightforward there. So it comes up here, goes around, drops it off into the hoppers. And then those will go into the furnaces where it's going to smelt all my items. So if we go over here and get some buckets, we can collect up a bunch of this. We'll see how this works. I need to make a bunch more buckets, but I've got an iron farm, so I'm good there. Ooh, good thing that you can't hop into the cauldron like lava. Grab those. Oops. Looks like I missed one. There we go. Yeah, so that dumps out of that barrel. And if we go around, we can see it's going to come down here. And I've got this system here where it locks in the minecart and releases it when it gets full of stuff. So, and then the minecart goes up and around that side, and then it comes back down. And then I've got this one-way switch over here, which will flip it around, so we'll go and do the other side. So I had to add this in just to make it a little easier. So I had I guess less. I could have done more rails and get this, but I wanted to use the same rail to go up one side and back the other. So I have to do some kind of switcheroo through there. And I didn't want to have to monkey around trying to figure out one-way rail turns and all that. So what this does is, as you come in, there's a detector rail. It flips the rail back and forth. So you go to one side, drop everything off, come back, flip over to the other side, and then you come back. And then once you come back here, it flips around so you can go pick up more of the lava. And then once it's full of lava, it will kick itself back out and fill in all my, fill the hoppers with the lava buckets I need. So now that the delivery and pickup system, everything's working, the main thing I need to do now is just make a bunch more buckets. And I wish there was a way to automate all this. I guess with AutoCrafting I could make the buckets, but I don't know of any. I don't know a way to actually automate picking up the lava from the cauldrons. So I'm just do it manually. Every once in a while, as I come through here, I'll just pick up all the buckets. Pick up all the lava from the cauldrons, and then all I gotta do is drop it into this chest here. And then that'll go over to the not the lava from the smelter. And the smelter can be full of, I can hold quite a few lava buckets over in the smelter, so. Eventually I will get too many, but that's fine. And then once I smelt things, I'll just have to remember to grab the buckets and come back over here. But I think that gets me my working lava farm and smelter. The last thing I need to do is come back here and just fill in this big pit. So we're just going to put more of the slabs covering this, like the rest of the area. But then I think that actually ends things for today. So I will go ahead and fill this all in, but I want to thank you all for checking in and watching the video. I want to wish you all a very happy day, and I will see you later. Bye-bye.